talk about why we started our channel, the reason for the name of our channel, and parts of our life that you will probably be seeing in the future, or what we like to do for hobbies, stuff that you'll probably be maybe asking questions about, or what we'll be talking about in the future, a little bit about our lives. Do you want to say why you started the channel?
No, you can.
So I started the channel because I wanted to get closer to my son, because we're not close enough and he's getting to that age where it's harder to reach young boys, and I want to have a bond that'll hopefully last for a long time. Also because I want to learn how to be a little bit more creative, and because I want to explore how we can use social media these days.
And I know how to use social media very well.
Yes, he does. Maybe a little bit better than me, but I've been doing it for way longer than he has.
What do you mean you've been doing it way longer than me?
Because social media, if you didn't know, has been around since before you were born.
Yeah, but you haven't been making videos since before I was born.
No, but I've been using social media since before you were born. It all started with AOL.
What's that?
What's AOL? It's called dial-up internet. And you'd have to hear the telephone ringing before you could access the internet. And if someone was using the phone, nobody else could be on the internet. And AOL only, I think it was last year or two ago, officially went away. It was around for a long time. But anyway, that's besides the point. We call ourselves the Double Deuces because me and my husband have had a lot of 2s and 4s in our life, and we have 2 children and 2 parents. 2 redheads, to be specific.
Yep.
And my husband is in the military, or was in the military, should I say. He was in a squad on the military, and they called themselves the Double Deuces. So it seemed to fit our situation, because we're going to be talking about military life, how we use military discounts, why, all that stuff that entails with what being a military family, or now he's a veteran and retired, and what that might entail. And we have been married since 16 years ago, 2009. Long time. And I am in my 40s, and he is a preteen. We won't give specific ages for certain reasons, but we are both going through changes in our life for different reasons. He'll be going through lovely puberty, so he can talk about that if he chooses to. He doesn't have to. He can talk about what he wants, and I am going through perimenopause. You may or may not know what that is. Most people do at this point. But, well, that's only a side note. We'll be talking about a lot of other fun things and exploring a lot of things along the way. Because if you looked at our channel, we like to do all kinds of different things, between sports, amusement parks, traveling, some cooking, and whatever else that there is to do. And we're in Nebraska, so we'll be talking about a bit of the state that we live in as well, and what you could do here. Would you like to say what we'll be talking about?
We'll be talking about
He's in basketball, so he'll probably be talking a lot about basketball. He did just win his second tournament ever, and he's very proud of that, and we are too. And he's been doing basketball for 3 or 4 years now. It's his favorite sport of choice. And I like to watch basketball, not just his basketball, but basketball on TV. I used to play basketball back in high school, and we've been to some basketball games.
Here's my trophy.
And he's got a tournament this coming weekend, so he might win another trophy.
4 games in one weekend is a lot of games.
We've lived in this house since 2011, so almost 15 years. We've done a lot of updates, remodels along the way. I don't think we plan to do a lot more, but there's not a lot of space in our house that's empty, clean slates, so that's why you'll see this plain black, blue background fairly often, unless you want to see a sometimes messy, cluttered house, because we are a family and we might share that once in a while. We'll see how life takes us. And we're about to go into Christmas break, and so we will also be talking maybe a little bit about that as well. We are in December now, in case you do watch this in the future or at any point. Would you like to talk about why you wanted to be on the channel with Mommy?
I wanted to be on the channel because it would get us closer and help us talk to each other more. And
because I asked him is the big reason. I think he also wants to be famous.
Yeah.
So it's a step to get there. We're not famous. We don't have any major counts of anything yet, but we'll get there all in due time. And we do like to go to Disney and Universal, like you've seen. And so we will have a trip coming up on the Disney Destiny cruise ship in a couple months here, and we'll probably be talking about that. The way we usually connect, him and I, is when we go to amusement parks. We do a lot of walking, so we get to do a lot of talking then. That's how we get our exercise, and then our feet don't hurt when we're actually on vacation. I should say that his younger brother, they're about 5.5 years apart. You may see him pop in and out of some videos like he did in our first video. So you may hear him in the background sometimes, but he didn't really want to be on YouTube, so we're not going to push that. And my husband is older than me by a few years, but he also did not want to be on YouTube, so you may just hear him in the background, or once in a blue moon when we're on vacations if we happen to have him in the video for some reason. And maybe they'll change their mind someday, we don't know. But as for right now, it's going to be focused on Xavier and me. Anything else we should talk about? It's basically a lifestyle channel if you haven't figured that out already. We may at some point add other social media to our list of things that we're on, but right now we're just focusing on YouTube until we are more established. I should mention that it may come up, I don't know how often. I did have infertility with both our kids, so that's why we only have 2 and why they're spaced out the way they are. So primary and secondary infertility. And yeah, that's why I didn't have a YouTube channel in between. That takes a lot of focus to try with all the different things that go on during that time. There may be potential for something else to happen or change in the future, but that's where we're at right now. Otherwise, we're pretty consistent at staying healthy, it seems like. So far, we haven't really gotten sick very much this year, so there shouldn't be any issues with keeping up on making videos. We just haven't found a good routine yet, and that's simply because we started this channel right around the time Xavier started basketball, which made it extra hard to try to time and schedule when we can get out videos. So we're hoping that once basketball season is done, we can make more videos and post more regularly. And that maybe Xavier will have some videos of his own and I don't have to do all the talking. And I might have some videos of my own too.
Maybe. You've already had some of your own, like one. But for some things that I pick, they're probably influenced by my favorite superhero and what kind of rides I like. I like thrill rides, and my favorite superhero is Spider-Man.
And I like thrill rides too. I'm a fan of both kinds of rides though, but if I had to pick, I would pick thrill rides. Or some dark rides, like I had mentioned in a prior video. The newer ones, that is. We don't have a lot planned vacation-wise, so you probably won't be seeing too many vacation videos coming out besides our Disney Destiny vacation that's coming up soon. But we'll talk about that if we end up having more, and otherwise, mostly why we've talked about Disney and Universal is we've done that pretty recently and thought it would be good to do that while we still remember. And that's also part of the reason why we started the channel, is so that we have memories to look back on later. So we'll talk about maybe a little bit of our backgrounds and things that we like. So I'm originally from California. I grew up in Southern California, lived in Huntington Beach and Long Beach, and also lived in Simi Valley before I moved out here with my family. I was still in high school, and so I've been here in Nebraska ever since. I did get my degree in business administration from a college here, and then I have 2 other associate degrees in different fields. And just like most other people, I'm not using my degrees, well, a little bit here and there, since business administration's pretty broad. But that's why I'm discussing that. And part of the reason why we are making videos intermittently is because I do work part-time for the state of Nebraska. I work in the Department of Revenue. I won't give more specifics on that. So if you do have questions about taxes, I can always answer them or try my best, at least for state taxes. I don't know enough about federal. I would have to refer you to the IRS for that. I work during the day when the kids are in school, so there won't be a lot of detail on that. Kids go to a private school here in the city that we're in, and so they're usually pretty busy for their day. And what do you do outside of your school time?
Basketball and video games. My practices are usually Monday and Friday, but sometimes they switch. And I usually have 1 or 2 games a weekend. And like I said before, there was a tournament this weekend where we have 4 games. But that's probably just because it's a tournament, and hopefully we win again. And I like a bunch of different video games.
He likes computer games, VR, video games, even Nintendo Switch and Switch 2. Not a big fan of PlayStation anymore, even though we do have a PlayStation. I could say a little bit about our extended families. I have a small extended family, only a few people. They all live here in the city that we're in, and my husband has a very large extended family, and we aren't seeing them enough, I guess. We usually see them on the holidays, but we don't have a whole lot of time to see extended family outside of that because of our schedules and just busy life. But you may hear about them more, especially near holidays or when we go on vacation, our next vacation is with some of our extended family. We should also mention our dog right here, Shadow. You may have seen her in the first video made, but we've had her for almost 2 years, not quite, and she is 2.5 years old. Her birthday is end of July. She's still got that puppy dog energy, if you can tell. We named her Shadow because, well, she's black, and there are actually a lot of, I didn't realize, Disney-related themes to shadows, if you watched any recent videos or old videos. And we also got her because Xavier wanted a dog.
Mm-hmm.
So she helps us to get our walks in. That's where we were earlier talking about taking walks before amusement parks and talking on walks. And we love her, and she's mostly a good dog. She does like to play bites, but you know, most dogs I think do until they're all grown up. Would you like to say anything about Shadow?
Wait, she also chases the shadows on the wall.
Yep. And that's all we've got for today. If you have any questions, always leave us a comment. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video.